Okay, I guess the journey has begun. If you're new here, which you probably are because I only have 10 subscribers, my name's Ali and this is the first episode of me properly documenting my journey towards building my dream physique, which is an athletic physique, which you saw in the thumbnail. I've tried to start a series I can continue a couple of times and I've failed every single time. I've never ever been consistent with them. My friends like, you've started 17 different series. I'm like, yeah. So hopefully this time I stick to it. And the thing is, I never wanted a super bulky physique. I never wanted to be massive and huge like a bodybuilder, but not be able to do anything else besides looking huge. I've always wanted that lean, athletic look where you 110% look like you lift, right? In a shirt without a shirt. But you don't look bulky. You look lean, aesthetic, and you can move your body how you want to. You can run, jump, swim, play football, pickleball, do MMA, do fighting, wrestling, everything like that. Because you can move your body, but you also look pretty damn aesthetic. And the reason I say that I'm starting from scratch is because I have a torn rotator cuff right now. I've had this torn rotator cuff for about 2 years now, and I've struggled to train how I want to because every single time I'd get to a specific point, my shoulder would just give out. Or I'd rush the process, or something else would mess up, and that would cause me to have to build back up again. And so I came off surgery about 2 months ago, but now I have an actual program I'm following that I'm hopefully going to use to get back to where I was, because I used to be in pretty good shape, and then God willing go beyond that, right, to achieve the dream athletic physique I have. And right now I'm building up with baby weight. I kid you not, I'm building up with baby weight, which you're gonna see in a bit. But that's what it takes. I want to document this journey right now because this is the best position. Because I'm doing like 4 kilogram dumbbell presses. I'm doing 4 kilogram ATG presses. Like, I am in the best position to document this journey. Because I wish people like Jeff Nippert, Lex Little, David Lade, Alex Leonidas, they all documented their journey from the absolute beginning. I wish they did that. Because it would be so cool to look back and learn from them and look at what they were doing at month 3 in their lifting journey. You see what I mean? So I want to do that, right? Because I haven't seen anyone done that on YouTube before, besides Paulo Guga. But even then, he only has videos of him lifting the weight and not really talking about his mindset and what he's going through during that time and his thought process. So I want that to be there as well because that is the actual value. So that's why I say starting from scratch, and to add things on top of that, my physique is really soft right now. As you can see, it's pretty darn soft. So I'm starting from scratch in the weight I'm lifting. I'm starting from scratch in my program. I'm starting from scratch with my physique. Therefore, I'm completely building myself from the ground up. And that is what I want to show on this channel through this series called The Athletic Build. Now, that being said, let's head to a workout where we start building again. From scratch. Okay, so I'm going to be starting my workout off with rows because I need to start my workout off with a pulling movement. This is the workout for the day, by the way. Pretty darn simple, all the basics. But I'm walking you through them while I'm doing every single thing. So with rows, this is my horizontal pulling for the week because you need to do vertical pulling and horizontal pulling if you want a balanced back, which is exactly what I want. And rows are freaking important for injury prevention as well because it strengthens your upper back, your rear delts, all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna start off with these. I only do about 2 sets because I find that if I do 3, it really is very taxing on my shoulder and it doesn't really give me that much benefit. So 2 is fine. It just feels nicer, honestly. And I'm gonna slowly build up. Right now, I'm not really pushing myself, but over time, I'm gonna slowly build capacity in my shoulder and my elbow, stuff like that. And we're gonna start pushing ourselves during these movements. I'm gonna aim for about 12 repetitions and I'm gonna go slow because if I go too fast into shoulder extension, then that causes pain in the front of my shoulder. Let's get it. Good set, good set, good set. Now the thing is, I could have done more repetitions. I probably could have gone to 16, 17, 18, maybe 20, but I didn't. Why? Because I am slowly building capacity within my shoulder. I was off of training for like a whole month because of my surgery. Not for my shoulder, by the way. And so I'm slowly building back up because it needs to regain capacity, right? I need to build capacity in there so I can slowly start to increase the volume over time and get stronger and fitter and build more muscle. So I'm going to do one more set, then we're going to go downstairs. Now for my main horizontal push, I used to do ring push-ups and I love ring push-ups a lot. But then I switched over to the dumbbell bench press. This is about 6 kilograms. I'm aiming for 12 repetitions. Now the reason I switched is, well, because when I was doing ring push-ups, there were moments where while I was doing the push-ups, I felt this massive jolt per se in my shoulder, right? And I didn't like that at all. So I was like, the dumbbells are more stable than the rings, so let me hop on here and then eventually I can transition from the dumbbells to the rings. That was the first thing. The second thing is honestly because I'm going to be moving out, God willing, to a different place in a few weeks. And so I won't really have access to rings like that. So I was like, let me just accustom myself to dumbbells right now because that's what I'm gonna have over there. The biggest thing is honestly it just feels good on my shoulder. Like it feels fine on my shoulder, and I feel like because I can track progression so easily as well with dumbbells, I can just increase the weight by a little bit every single time. It is really gonna help a lot when it comes to making sure I'm steadily progressing towards getting to the point where I want to get to. However, one issue I have been facing is in my non-injured shoulder. Not in my shoulder, it's right here, like this part for some reason. Like every single time I go down, right? For some reason, this part just feels achy and it feels like it's not really pain, but it just feels like it's being stopped, like something's blocking it, right? When I warm up a little bit, it feels fine, it feels okay, but when I'm not warmed up, then it just kind of, it's kind of annoying. Because when my hand goes slightly close to chest level, that's when like I feel it right here. So when I press up, I feel it. Because this is my second week of doing this move. I only do this once a week. I think it's just me needing a bit more time to be fully used to this movement, because I could do this without any pain, any issues before as well, right? So I'm pretty not sure I can do it again, because nothing's changed between that point. And this is my non-injured shoulder as well. So I don't know what's going on, but hopefully things are fine. Hopefully things are better, and I'm gonna do my second set. So that was like my primary workout, right? Everything from now on is going to be prehab type stuff. And I know it's pretty short, right? Just 2 exercises, right? And that is exactly it, right? Because I'm building up slowly and steadily over time. I don't want to rush into things without any issue. First off, the dumbbell bench is causing issues in my left shoulder. The ring push-ups were causing issues in my right shoulder. So it's weird, but I want to acclimate my body to this movement. I want to focus more on strengthening my shoulder in the areas it is weakest in. And that is what these prehab exercises do in the first place. So my goal is to get stronger at these over time. And that's why I spend a lot of my workout doing these exercises and getting stronger at them, right? Got these all from Knees Over Toes guy, right? Because I'm a big fan of the ATG system. In fact, that is why I was going so deep on the bench press, because I want to achieve that full range of motion with the connective tissue strengthening. That is basically my strategy. And I'm going to do the pullover right now for about 2 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions. So I don't even know why I do this movement. Like, I kind of know it's good for your thoracic extension and everything like that, but I know it can help you in alleviating shoulder pain. So that's why I do this, honestly. But I mainly do this because, well, Ben says you should do it. So I'm like, okay, Ben said it, so let me do this as part of a shoulder bulletproofing protocol. So that's why I do these. This is about 3 kilograms, so it's not really much weight, but I'm gonna take my time. 1, 2, 3, go as deep as I can. Stay there for a second, back up. That's basically how I do all my exercises, so yeah. My left shoulder feels a bit iffy, but I'm good there. And that was more of a neck workout than anything. Okay, so I'm actually starting my main, I guess you could say, prehab circuit, which consists of the external rotation, the power raise, and the trap 3 raise. I'm gonna do all 3 of these circuit style for 3 sets in total, and I'm gonna aim for about 8 to 12 repetitions. So right now I'm using about 3 kilograms for the external rotation, 3 kilograms for the power raise, and 2 kilograms for the trap 3 raise, because that is hard. That is difficult. But my goal is to get to about 7 to 8 kilograms at least, if not 10 kilograms for each of these movements, right? For about 3 sets of 12. Nice and controlled. I'm gonna start this over. Pretty simple. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Bang. That's my form, and I'm gonna just go for it. Ah. 10 reps. Now my second movement is the power raise, and trust me, it is such a freaking good movement for the shoulder. Like, my shoulder, especially my rear delt mainly, is on fire after I'm done with these. I'm aiming for about 10 repetitions. So let's see what we get. One thing is to imagine like you're scooping up the weight. Don't just pull it up, scoop it up. Every single time, shoulders on fire. Last and final movement is a trap 3 raise. This will destroy your lower traps like nothing else, and it's very important for keeping the shoulder upright as well, and also training something that is usually not trained by most people, which is very important for bulletproofing. So I'm going to aim for about 12 repetitions. If I can get that for all 3 sets, then I can increase the weight because I earned it. And by the way, this is the movement I hate the absolute most. I don't like this at all. Not at all. I have 2 more rounds of these. Once I'm done, let's talk. Okay, so that was my workout done. Took me about 2 hours, but that is what is needed, honestly, right now at this stage, because I need to strengthen my shoulders. I need to make sure that they're bulletproof so that I can continue building up and up and up without having any issues or any other forms of pain in my shoulder or any setbacks or any flare-ups, stuff like that. But one thing that I am probably going to add to this workout is arm stuff, which is going to make it even longer, but I have to. So I had pain like right here and I was researching it whilst I was working out. That's probably why it took longer. But I found out that I need to basically get better at basically curling my elbow and like flexing my elbow. So I'm like, okay, that means I need to do more arm work. I do not do arm work right now. I wasn't doing arm work because I was like, let me just build up my weight slowly over time, and then I can start adding in arm work when I'm comfortable. But it's been like 3 weeks, and I think now is the time to actually start adding in arm work, because if I don't do it now, then it's going to bite me in the back, you know, a few more weeks or months down the line. So that's why I'm going to start adding in arm work, just a basic bicep curl, and along with like or like a hammer curl, along with some basic tricep extensions, just basic stuff. Probably 2 sets each at the end of my upper body workouts. This was like my second upper body workout of the day. My first one is this exact workout, except for my pushing movement, I do the ATG press, which is a vertical pressing movement. And I do this because I want to be able to build capacity with my shoulder for overhead pressing, right? I'm doing basically the most dangerous press, right? The behind the neck press, but it is so good for your shoulders. And there was a point in time where I started doing this, and I got to the point where I was training to failure on this movement, but my shoulders had never felt better. So I'm pretty darn sure if I can slowly build back up right now, that feeling is going to be replicated, God willing. And the reason I'm doing this with dumbbells is because I'm doing the ATG style. So I start off with the dumbbells, and then as soon as I can build up to a good level with the dumbbells, right, my goal is to get to 17.5 kilograms per hand. Then I can start adding in the barbell and stuff like that. So that is my goal with this movement specifically. And for my pull movement, I do the assisted pull-up, because I'm building back up to pull-ups again. Everything is building back up right now, right? So I'm building back up to doing pull-ups, and I am very close, very close, probably in like 1 or 2 more weeks, and I should be back doing pull-ups, God willing. Notice that these movements are vertical, and then the ones I did today are horizontal, right? So I'm doing once a week vertical movements, once a week horizontal movements. But over the course of the next few weeks, I'm going to do each of these movements twice a week, right? So I'm going to do vertical movements twice a week and horizontal movements twice a week, because again, I'm slowly building back up, right, capacity in my shoulder. But that is the goal. However, I need to figure out what is wrong with this shoulder right here, what is wrong with this bicep right here, because if this continues on, then I have to switch back to doing push-ups, which I don't want to do, because I feel it to be more risky for my shoulder. And also when it comes to legs, I'm going to make a separate video about how I'm training them, but it is again ATG style, right? Doing exactly what knees over toes guys says to do for legs. I want bulletproof knees, and I want to be able to do athletic stuff with my legs. I don't care about having the biggest legs. I care about having good looking legs, but more than that, having legs that are functional, that I can use to run fast, jump high, legs that don't really have aches and pains within them. That is what I want. That is my goal with legs. That is basically what I'm aiming for. But what ended up happening is that I started to get these electric shocks in my legs. This is like a week to 2 weeks ago. I started to get these electric shocks within my legs every single time I would slightly bend my knee, and it would be on the outside of my knee. So I had this shock in my knee, and like slightly above my knee and slightly below my knee, and it would just be super painful. And I had this in the past when I was in the process of preparing for my half marathon, right? And I figured out that is actually because of weak glutes, mainly a weak glute medius. And so I started training my glute medius. It's been 2 days and it's already gone. I'm gonna give it till Monday. It's Friday right now, and then I can start my leg days again how I want it to, right? So that is my kind of my process with them. Training 4 times a week, upper lower, but eventually I'm probably gonna end up doing 3 times a week once I start running as well. So only training legs once a week. But yeah, that is the whole gist of it. That is how I'm building my athletic physique. There's a lot more I can dive into, and a lot more I want to dive into, but that is going to come in the next few episodes, God willing. So that is all I have for you today. I will catch you in the next one, God willing. Peace.